Hey guys, it's Bree. It's the third weekend of the lockdown, and today we'll take full body mat. I'm going to use a towel to assist me today, but you could also use a TheraBand, would work as well. And thank you very much for watching and supporting. I appreciate it. Okay, so we come to sitting. I'm going to take the towel or the TheraBand or whatever you have. It's going to go kind of right. I'm separating my feet. Not quite as wide as hip distance, but I have a little bit of space between the feet. And I'm going to go ahead and you can have bent knees here or straight legs. It just depends on what feels good to you today. And I'm starting to lift the arms up a little bit and feel the tension of the towel. And I'm going to push out slightly. So I'm feeling the sides of my arms turn on as well as the sides of my legs, because I'm going to push my feet out into the sides of the towel there. And then just take a moment and grow tall through the spine. A couple deep breaths there. Inhaling in. Exhale, tuck your tail, start to pull your lower belly back and just round the spine back away from the feet. Kind of pulling into that towel, stretching out the middle of the back there. And then start to bend the elbows. Send the elbows wide to lift the chest, maybe up a bit. And then again. Tucking the tail, rounding the spine, getting some flexion in the upper back, but then still keep kicking out into the sides of the towel, so we're feeling those legs turn on, getting a little bit of that extension, and again, tuck, scoop, and round. Stretching out the space between the vertebrae, and then rebuild. Sitting tall, and again, tuck, scoop, and roll. We're going to hold this one, and I'm going to start to bend my right knee to bring the foot out of the towel, and I'm going to place that foot flat on the mat. So all of the towel is now on the left foot. And I'm going to keep rolling back in space. So I'm going to tuck the tail under. I'm floating my left leg up, rolling the spine all the way down. I'm going to bend my elbows, pulling that left leg into a bit of stretch. And now I'm going to tweeze my seat to kind of kick down into the towel. So I'm turning on the back chain of the leg there. The arms extend out, nod the head forward, and allow the weight and the muscles of the leg to pull us up. When we get to the top, we bend the elbows wide and take that little chest lift. And again, tuck the tail, scoop the belly, arms extend. Still keep kicking down into that towel with the foot. And then bend the elbows, pull the left leg into that stretch. And again, reaching the arms forward. Rolling the head, neck, and chest up, kicking down, up to the top, bend and pull. Last one. We're going to hold down, take a little bit of a stretch here. Then I'm going to lower the leg down in space so that the thigh bone comes in line with my other thigh bone. I'm going to nod the head forward to pull myself into a nice deep ab curl here. Pulling the belly button down and in, my spine is heavy. I'm going to now bend the knee and bend my elbows, but I'm still contracting my glute and hamstring here so that I have a bit of pressure. So I'm working my own arms against my leg, and then I'm going to send it away. And again. And with each stretch of the leg, I want you to allow that to pull yourself a little bit deeper into the abdominals. And again, so the back of the body pulls, and then we curl deeper. Let's take two more, and press. Last one, and press. I'm going to keep that leg straight, coming down. Take a few little circles at the top here, and reverse. And then kick down into the leg. Nod the head forward, roll the spine all the way up to sitting. Bend the elbows at the top, get that little chest lift. And then we'll switch out the feet. So my right foot will come into the towel. My left knee will bend and come flat, the foot flat on the mat. And then we begin again here. So I'm going to tuck my tail, round the spine back towards your mat. I'm keeping my right leg extended and I'm kicking down into the towel. I'm going to roll all the way down. Take that nice stretch of the leg here. And then I'm going to kick down. Find the back chain of the leg, find the ab curl, roll the spine up, one bone at a time. At the top, we take that little lift of the chest, bend of the elbow. And again, arms straighten, leg kicks down, spine rolls down, all the way to the top. Pull the leg towards you, and then send it away. Lift the chest. Good. Our last one, we're going to hold at the bottom. Take a little stretch. Thigh bone pulls towards you as you kick away. So you're kicking your own towel. And then return that leg to right in line with your left thigh bone. And from here, I'm going to bend that knee, bend the elbows, feel the back of the body turn on, and then kick into your right glute and hamstring to curl yourself deeper into the abdominal curl. With each stretch of the leg, you should find yourself not necessarily lifting up higher in the chest, but curling deeper, so hips or ribs towards hips, yeah. And again, curling deeper. Last one here, and out. And then lowering down. Take a few little circles. And reverse. Good. And then kick that right leg down into space. Arms extend. Rolling the spine up. Take that little chest lift. Good. I'll straighten both legs out. I'm going to take that towel off and I'm going to choke up a little bit on it. Also keep in mind, if at any point you want to get rid of the towel, if it's too much on the hands, then most of this we can do without. So make good choices for your body for today. We're going to start just sitting nice and tall. I have a little bit of tension. I'm kind of holding onto the towel, but I'm pressing out into the sides of my arms here for a little bit of roll down, just without any assistance here. So I'm just rolling. Both legs are squeezing together, so my inner thighs are turned on. I'm rolling one bone at a time all the way down. I'm going to reach the arms back into space, inhaling in. Exhale, the towel reaches forward, arms reach forward. Head nods forward to curl all the way up. And at the top, I'm actually going to take a little bit of our spine stretch here. And again, rolling down, one bone at a time. All the way down, reaching back, inhaling in. Exhale, we curl up. Keeping that pressure active into the sides of the towel or the TheraBand. Reaching forward. And again. Good. This time we're going to hold. Curl up into your ab curl. And then pull your lower belly down to bend your right knee towards you. And then twist over. From here, we're just going to take little ab curls up. With each ab curl, I'm going to pull the towel to make it longer for 5, 4, feeling my left ribs come towards my right hip. 2, and 1. From here, I hold that pressure into the towel, return through center, curl a little bit deeper, drag my left heel towards me, and now I twist towards the other side, right ribs towards left hip. And now pressing out into the towel here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Moving back through center, find a little bit deeper ab curl right through the center for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the head, neck, and chest down, taking an inhale in. Exhale. Curling up, one bone at a time. You can manage. I'm going to come all the way to the top. Lift those arms up. You can keep the legs straight, great. We're just going to take some rotation in the spine. So I'm feeling my left ribs come towards my right hip. I'm going to follow my right head towards my right arm there, and then moving back through center. Other side, to the left. Try to grow taller through the spine with each of these. So you're not letting the rotation of the spine kind of sit you back. You want to keep lifting up as best as possible. And again, rotate. Feeling that left shoulder blade take you around. Find center. This time we're going to roll down in this position. It's a bit harder to keep the arms up here, so it's going to challenge that lower belly all the way down. Inhaling in. Exhale, I'm going to curl up into my ab curl.
I'm going to bend my right knee, and this time I'm going to hover it right up into tabletop. From there, I'm going to rotate my left ribs towards that right hip, so similar to what we just did. Now from here, I'm going to extend both the arms and the legs out and away from each other, but then I'm going to curl deeper, crossing over. All the while, I'm giving myself a little bit extra work by kind of pulling the towel long, so the sides of my body are active as well. Take one more, curling a little bit deeper, hold, and then move through center, lower that foot down, inhaling in, exhale, we curl up, arms come right to above the shoulder girdle. Drag the left knee in, find tabletop, hold, rotate over towards the left now, curl a little bit deeper, pull the towel, and now send both the arms and the leg away from each other, but then curl deeper towards chest, towards thigh bone, and again, up, and pull, and out, and pull, couple more, up, and pull, last one, and pull, lower that down, find center, reach the arms back overhead, good, and then actually, we're going to rest this down, so you can let the towel hang out on your legs, and situate yourself, you're going to bend the knees back in, we're going to take a little bit of our bridging here. So today I'm actually going to take my, I'm going to squeeze my feet together for bridging, so my thighs are squeezing there. I'm going to lift the towel up. So we're going to start by tucking the tail, scooping the belly, and rolling the spine up. So I'm pushing the lowest vertebra kind of down into the mat first, and then letting them lift off. One bone at a time. As I do so, I'm going to press that towel down and squeeze my upper arm bones towards my midline. And then from there, I'm going to roll the spine down one bone at a time, floating that towel back into space. And again, inhaling in. Exhale, we tuck the tail. Scoop the belly to roll the spine up, lifting the hips, pushing the towel down, squeezing the upper arm bones inward, and then rolling down, lifting the towel one bone at a time. And again. Rolling up, pushing down, squeeze the seat, squeeze the upper arm bones, and lift, and lower. One more like this, rolling the spine up, pushing the towel down, lifting the hips, pressing the back of the arms down, and then lowering. Good. I'm going to hover my right leg up and take some single legs. If that's too much for you today, just continue on with the double leg. And as I do this, I'm actually going to pull my towel alongside the right side of the body. So my right arm is pushing down and my left arm is pulling back away from the right. And now I'm going to roll the spine up, keeping the arms in place, really standing strong in my left glute and hamstring, and then rolling down. So I'm going to leave the towel right here. Rolling up and down. I'm thinking about my left heel bone pulling towards my tailbone to lift the hips up. Despite having just one leg working, you want to try to keep the pelvis as steady as possible. And then we'll hold up at the top, extend that leg out. We're going to take little lifts up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then rolling the spine down, and we'll switch the sides out. So I'm going to lower that leg, and we'll float the left leg up to tabletop. I'm going to rotate, so my left arm now really presses down towards my mat, right arm up and back. Keep that tension in the towel as you tuck your tail, scoop your belly to open the front of the right hip, and then lowering down with control. And again, feel that right heel bone pull towards your tailbone. Still try to get that articulation of the spine. So one bone at a time. I think it's easy to lose that with a single leg version. Keep tension in both arms. We're going to hold at the top here. So we're going to roll the spine up, straighten that left leg out, and then we lift and lower for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then rolling down. Good. Find tabletop. with both legs. You're going to take both feet into the towel. And just take a stretch in the back of the legs. So I'm just going to feel the weight of the arms kind of pull the thigh bones. And you can take a little bit of rock from side to side here. Usually feels pretty good, I think. So I'm still keeping my collarbones wide. I've got a little tension in between my shoulder blades. And my elbows are wide. I'm going to start to pull maybe the thigh bones towards me. You can also play with bending each leg or alternating, maybe getting a little bit deeper stretch. I just want you to keep your tailbone nice and heavy. So I'm not letting my tailbone lift up like this. I'm kind of keeping it planted down into the mat. And then make sure you're equal if you've been alternating the legs. And straighten both legs up. I'm going to send the legs slightly away from me. I'm going to hold on to that towel and start to push down into the back of the arms to curl my ab curl up. And I might even, let's try even bending the elbows here. And just use that to curl a little bit deeper into the abs. And then lower the head, neck, and chest down. So very similar to how we started. And again, so I'm pulling the elbows wide. And actually, let's squeeze now the elbows in. Send the legs down. Keep the arms straight and push down into the back of the arms to grow deeper into the abs. And then we let the elbows go wide, the legs float up. And again, so I'm going to squeeze the elbows in towards the body, push down into the back of the arms, the triceps, growing deeper into the abs. And then opening the elbows wide, return the legs back up. Take one more of these. Squeezing the elbows in. Pressing down into both the back of the legs, back of the arms, curl deeper into the ribs. Return it back. Good. Bend the knees and rest. All right. So one final thing here, we'll go ahead and do your series of 5. I'm going to use the towel actually to support the neck. So I'm taking the towel just under the base of the head there. And now my elbows are quite narrow, so they're facing up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to find my tabletop legs here. So my knees are right over my hips. I'm going to take an inhale in. Exhale, you're going to sink your ribs towards your hips and let your head be heavy back into that towel. So I'm really pushing down into the back of my arms and my elbows. And then send your left leg long. We're going to switch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring both knees in. Lower the head, neck, and chest down. Take an inhale in. Exhale, we're going to curl into the ab curl once again for our doubles. So we send both legs out. Just make sure your lower back is staying down. And then bend the knees, curl a little bit deeper. And again, all the while, again, make sure this isn't in your neck. Your head should be back in that towel. Your arms should actually be working since they are now holding the weight of the head, as well as that rib to hip connection in the front of the body. Take one more, hold. Lift the right leg up, left leg lowers, and we switch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees in, lower the head, neck, and chest down, inhaling in. Exhale, we curl up and hold. Reach both legs up now. We're going to lower down in space, only as far as you can keep that back heavy. We return it up, and I'm going to take that little extra hip lift. 3 more. Pressing down, squeezing those legs together, and up. 2 more. And up. Last one. And up. Good. Bend the knees. Lower that neck and chest. Inhaling in. Exhale for crisscross. So we're going to curl up. Send your left leg away. And then twist your left rib towards the right hip. It's just a slight rotation. And then we switch back and forth for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax all the way down. Good. All right, from there, rock yourself all up to sitting. We'll take some side lying in. So, yeah, we're gonna start without the towel actually, although have it handy, we might grab it back in for us. So I'm gonna start on the right side of the body here. My left foot is just slightly forward of my right, so my right leg is kind of back underneath the left. We're just finding that side plank actually. So once you have a good position here, you're gonna push down into the right arm to lift those hips up, straighten those legs out. And then let's start here. So we're gonna begin with rotation actually. So you're gonna pull your belly button back and rotate the spine towards your mat, but then return it back to neutral. So I'm really just pushing away with my right side of the body. I think for me right now, my elbow is a little bit further out than where it should be. You want it to be right underneath your shoulder girdle. And now we'll try it with the straight arm. So you'll reach under, kind of looping that arm to get perhaps a little bit more rotation, and then extend it up. And again, rotate and up. This time we're gonna hold under. You're actually gonna grab your waist here, and you're gonna take little ab curls up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then return it back. Sit the hips down. Good. So now you'll bring that towel right underneath your ribs actually. And we'll come to laying down on the towel. So you're gonna weight the towel down with your own rib cage. The knees come forward and the top leg hovers. I'm gonna grab with my left hand now the towel that's underneath my ribs, but I'm holding it here with a straight arm. So make sure you have enough length in the towel to do so. We're just gonna stretch that top leg long, top arm is long, and I'm just supporting kind of underneath the lower belly, underneath the side of the body. And then from here, I'm just bending the knee, the top leg in towards the towel, and I'm gonna send it away. I wanna make sure that I'm feeling this in the side of the glute and hip, not so much in the front of the thigh. And all the while, I'm just really reaching up with my left arm towards the ceiling to feel the back of the arm, back of the body turn on as well. And then hold that top leg straight. I'm going to take little presses back with the arm and up with the leg. If you feel that it's going into the front of your leg, just turn that knee kind of, or that thigh bone inward. Take your presses with the back of the shoulder girdle, back of the arm. A couple more. Good. Now we're going to try our pendulum here. So as the leg goes forward, you're going to push and rotate maybe the ribs open towards the ceiling. Then I'm going to bring the towel back forward in front of the body as the leg goes to the back. The leg comes forward, open the chest rather as the leg closes off. And then as the leg goes back, tuck your tail, scoop your belly, so still keep that belly active, arm goes forward. And again. You want to imagine the leg is kind of gliding across the table, so you're trying not to let it shift in altitude. We're going to hold to the front, take little presses up with the leg. So the arm is just holding. Take a few more. 2 and 1. Good. Now we reach to the back, arm goes slightly forward, pull your belly in like crazy, and we lift the leg there for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg right in line with the body. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it up. Rotate and lift a little higher. And then relax down. Good. And we'll take our other side. So I'm going to move everything around. We're going to start sitting, so I'll try to get a little bit better form on this side. So you want the shoulder right on top of the elbow. My right foot is forward of my left, so that the idea is when you come up into the side plank, this shoulder should end up right on top of that elbow, so this already feels better for me. I'm squeezing my thighs together. We're gonna start with the hand right behind the head, and I'm just pulling my lower belly back to get some rotation, and then I'm opening the chest back. So it's essentially an ab curl, so I'm still feeling this kind of right ribs towards the left hip. My thighs are squeezing together like crazy to get that nice lift in the whole body. Then I'm gonna extend that arm out, and we try here. So now I'm gonna loop this hand all the way through and under, but then open and return it back. And again, looping under, pulling the belly button back, and open. Last one, I'm gonna loop under, and now I'm gonna grab onto my ribs, pull my belly back, and take little ab curls up. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. And then lower those hips down. Good. All right, so I'm gonna take now the towel, I'm gonna situate it so that it hangs out on my bottom ribs here, and my top legs are bent kind of like tabletop and forward. You wanna make sure you have enough length of the towel that you can comfortably kind of, I need a little bit more, hold that towel up straight with the top arm. I'm gonna lift that bottom leg up. So I'm just starting by extending that top leg out, allowing it to give me a little bit extra room in the spine here. And I'm just bending and straightening. All the while, I'm just pressing up into this right hand now for me. So I'm feeling the right kind of back chain of the body turn on there. Just keeping some tension. Just don't allow it, that work in the back of the arm, in the back of the shoulder, it'll disturb the stability in your belly. So you still want to feel a little bit of that rib to hip connection. Hold there. We're going to rotate the leg slightly inward. Now we do some presses back with the arm, up with the leg. 9 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Now, pendulum. So I'm going to continue, let the leg go forward. I'm going to let the chest open and push back into the arm with the towel or TheraBand. And then I'm going to float the leg backward, pull the belly up and in. Maybe my shoulder rotates slightly inward, of course. And then we just alternate back and forth, opening the chest, letting the leg move through, pulling the belly up and in. So don't just let everything collapse down there. And again, wide, and forward. This time we hold with the leg forward. We're going to take leg lifts for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The leg now floats to the back. Pull the belly up like crazy. And we lift there, rotating inward with that upper leg. 3, still keep tension through the towel. Last one. Everything comes in line. Good. And then we lift. A couple more here. 2, and 1. Keep that leg turned in. Maybe go a little bit higher, reach the arm longer. And then relax it down. Good. Good. Let's flip right over onto our stomachs actually and get that swan out of the way. So I'm going to start actually, the towel is going to come, so I'm going to be holding it, my elbows are bent in a 90-degree angle out to the sides of the body, and then I'm nodding my head forward, and I'm going to pull my belly up and in. So what you should see, this is me just hanging out, there's kind of a dip in my, that's just the natural curvature of your spine, which is fine, but instead I want you to feel kind of the hips pull up towards the ribs so you get that lower belly connection. And then we're going to practice actually first with the legs. So I'm going to really reach long through my left leg to barely let it lift off. But this work, guys, is not coming from my calf or my lower leg. It's coming from the glutes and the hamstring here. Then I'm going to lower it down. So it really doesn't have that far to go. It can't lift too much higher. If you start to go higher with it, you're going to see that it goes into your back rather than what we want is actually right in the back of the leg. Take a couple more just like this, really reaching long through the leg, pulling up through the belly. Get that glute and hamstring connection. Take one more. Long to lift up. Good, and now I'm going to keep both legs quite long and reaching, even though they're on the mat. So I'm turning on them. Everything we just worked is still active. And then I'm going to feel my shoulder blades slightly pull together, so your elbows might lift and the hands might hover. And now I'm going to pull out into my towel, so feeling the sides of the body turn on. From here, I want you to imagine that still keeping that lower belly lifted, you're going to feel the shoulder blades come together to lift the head, neck, and chest, almost like a little reverse ab curl, but the back of the body, and then returning down. So it's just a little baby swan, but the whole back of the body is working here to lift the chest forward and upward, not so much backward. And again, reaching long through the chest, shoulder blades pull together, belly lifts. We're gonna hold and take some rotation. So you're gonna feel the right shoulder blade lift you up to rotate, and then find center, other side. Left shoulder blade lifts you up and center. Just holding this baby swan. I'm still keeping my belly quite active. Good. Now I'm going to hold the right side. So I'm going to rotate and see if I can lift my left leg with the glute and hamstring just like I did before. And down. Other side lifts. And down again. Trying to get long through the spine. So reach long through the legs. Don't let them sink into the back, although I'm sure you can see a little bit anyway. One more on each side. Rotating. And down. Last one. And down. Take a short rest, inhaling in. Exhale, we have one more thing to do here. I'm going to pull my belly like crazy, leave the legs down, float the body up into that kind of baby swan. Pull your towel, and now we're going to take a little bit of rotation or lateral flexion, right? So I'm going to take my elbow, my right elbow, towards my right hip, move it back through center, and then other side, and center. 4 more, and center. Feel those shoulder blades pull together. It's easy to lose them here, so the collarbones stay wide. Belly is active. Last one. Find center. Now just lift the arms up for 5. So that towel's going to come towards your nose. 3, 2, hold it up. Lift a little higher through that baby swan. And then relax. Good. Push back into child's pose or whatever feels good to you here. Push that mat away from you maybe. A quick round of plank, and then we'll be out of here. So I'm going to start in the all fours position just because it feels nice to me. I'm going to round the spine up towards the ceiling, working out a little bit of that swan that we just did. Keep the belly lifted even as you move that spine into your swan shape. And then again, tuck the tail, scoop the belly, hips pull up towards the ribs, but then extend it out. Take 1 more through the spine. Push the ground away from you. And extend. And then we're going to settle out into a neutral position. Give yourself some space if you need it. We're going to take 1 foot back, tuck the tail, forward and under, and then the other. I'm going to push my heels back and my hips back. Take a little bit of that stretch in the body. And then bring the chest forward over top the hands. And again, heels go back, hips go back, chest goes forward, and through. We're going to hold here. I'm going to take some single leg lifts. If single leg lifts are too much for you, just hold the plank, yeah? Just make sure your hips are pulling up towards the ribs and pushing the ground away from me. If you want to add in a single leg, you can. We're going to lift up. We're going to rotate that right knee towards the left elbow, send it away. Lower down, left leg lifts, and twist, away, lower down, right leg up, and twist, out, and down, 3 more, up, and twist. Out, down. One more on each side. Up, down. Last one. And twist. Out, down. One knee down. Then the other. Sit back, take a little rest. Good. And then to finish this out, we'll take a little stretch if you want it. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left. I'm going to kind of pull or push. I'm going to push my own right knee into my left hand. And I'm going to pull it towards me to grow a little bit taller out of my spine. So I'm feeling a little bit of stretch on the outside of this right hip here. You can play with even kind of pulling the left arm to twist towards that right thigh. And find center, you can reach that right arm up. Push away from that right hip. So I'm breathing out into the right side of the body there. Good. Let's switch the sides. So the left leg will come around. I'm going to push my left knee into the right hand. As I do so, I'm going to pull my right hand towards my chest to lift my chest maybe even a little bit taller. You can play with rotating now towards the outside of that left hip. And then reach that left arm up and over. So reach away from the left hip, breathing out into the left side of the body. Good. Reach it up. Nice. Take whatever else you need, and I think I am done with you for today. So yeah, I hope everyone's staying safe, and thanks again for watching.